Something big in the Jade Cargill storyline just took place for the first time, so we'll see what's happening there. We'll also check out what's new with Tiffany Stratton and much more. Starting things off with a big update for Jade Cargill's story, because finally something big has happened here for the very first time. The show starts off with another backstage interview with Naomi and Bianca Belair. Kathy Kelly points out how the tag team titles got close to almost being relinquished, and Naomi and Bianca give each other a little look. Is there much there with that look between the two of them? No, not really. But it's still worth mentioning that they give each other that little look there. But when asked about what will a win mean to them, Naomi admits that she's been waiting to hold WWE Gold since returning to the company in early 2024. Naomi said that she did not think she would win gold in the fashion that she did and that entire situation, but that it means a lot to her and that she was able to do it with Bianca Belair. Bianca says that they have to move forward as the new tag team champions, but promises that they will not forget about what happened to Jade Cargill. Bianca says that she knows someone in the locker room did it. Bianca goes off throwing accusations at Candice, Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton. Bianca noted that Naomi will be right there helping her find out who did it. But here's where the big first time event takes place. Nia Jax makes her way to the ring, and she defends herself against Bianca's accusations. She says no members of her trio, including Tiffany, Candice, and herself, laid a hand on Jade Cargill. Nia countered the accusations by suggesting that the idea that Bianca Belair was the one who actually attacked Jade Cargill. Nia made some valid points, noting that the entire situation has not had a single negative effect on Bianca Belair. Nia points out that Bianca Belair is still a champion, and how Bianca took zero time in replacing Jade Cargill. Nia says that she fully believes that Bianca Belair is trying to avoid suspicion because Bianca's the one who actually attacked Jade. Nia's claim to this belief is that Bianca Belair could not stand to share the spotlight with Jade Cargill. Nia claims that Bianca viewed Jade Cargill as being bigger, stronger, and just overall better than her. So Bianca snapped and took out Jade, since she was becoming more of a threat to her spot in the company. Nia wanted Bianca Belair to stop pointing fingers and just own up to being the one behind the attack. So the first time in this story's month-long existence, this is the real first time that Bianca Belair has been accused on television by someone of being the attacker. And like we always say here all the time on WrestlingWorldCC, heels can speak a lot of lies and a lot of nonsense. But at the same time, they can have these moments of saying some valid things if you really pay attention to what they're saying. And that's the case here with what Nia Jax is saying. Everything Nia said about the entire situation was all valid points. This entire tragic situation to Jade Cargill has left no hardships at all for Bianca Belair to deal with. And was that the case only because Bianca Belair was pulling the strings for the entire situation to begin with? Same thing goes for what Nia Jax said about Bianca Belair possibly not wanting to share the spotlight with someone that was right on par with her strength and star power. Ever since Bianca Belair first started up with WWE, she was always a singles division star. She burst onto the scene and was headlining WrestleMania main events and winning multiple world titles in the singles division. She never had to share the spotlight with someone. So was Bianca secretly tired of sharing the spotlight and wanted to kick Jade Cargill to the curb in order to slowly climb back into her stardom in the singles division? At this point in the story, it's a valid theory. But there's one minor plot hole to the idea of Bianca wanting to return to the singles competition. If that was the case, then why did she agree to continuing defending the titles with Naomi? She could have just handed the titles in to Nick Aldis and be free to join the singles division again if that was the case. Unless it's all part of her bigger plan to avoid any suspicions. So she held on to the tag team titles for the time being. So it's continuing to be a story where everyone is pointing fingers at each other and no one at all has any proof to back up their claims. So it's looking like the only thing that will get the attack close to being exposed is either some never-before-seen camera footage, a surprise eyewitness that pops up, or lastly, maybe even Jade Cargill herself has some information about the identity of the attack that she's sitting on right now. Because go back to the attack in that position that Jade Cargill was taken out. She fell off an elevated platform onto the car on her back, meaning that if there was a face-to-face struggle that ended with Jade Cargill being pushed backwards, there's a high chance that Jade saw someone that she can point out. Even if the individual was masked up, there had to be something like their eyes, hands, hair, just anything that Jade saw as she was falling onto her back onto the car. So if anyone has that big scoop on the attacker, it could be Jade Cargill herself. Another criticism of this story that continued this week on the December 27th edition of SmackDown was the continuous lack of effort from Bianca and Naomi to actually find out more about the attack. They once again said on December 27th that they haven't forgotten about the attack and how they're going to find out who did it. But we haven't seen Naomi or Bianca do even one single thing on screen that proves that they're actually trying to hunt for the attacker. All we've seen them do so far is point fingers with no evidence and tell us that they're going to find out who did it. So it would be nice to see them have effort on screen instead of them just telling us every week that they're going to find them. As one of the classic storytelling cliches says, show, don't tell. Show us Bianca and Naomi investigating the attack, instead of them just verbally telling us every week that they're going to find them. So that's the only slightly repetitive part of this story right now. We just need to see some effort and action from Naomi and Bianca if they're actually trying to find out who did it. There's currently no timetable for Jade Cargill's return, and reports did claim that WWE listed dozens of injuries on Jade's storyline injury report because the belief is that she's going to miss a decent amount of time. So there's no telling at this moment when she will return to television. So if she's out for a while, it does look like the story could boil down to Bianca versus Naomi, with one of the women being exposed as the real attacker much down the line. Speaking of little plot holes and story-related questions, let's revisit the Tiffany, Stratton, and Nia Jax story, because something interesting happened here as well. In times past, Tiffany did tease cash-ins many different times that felt a bit cryptic and ambiguous because Tiffany's intentions were not made extremely clear. This led to Nia Jax getting a bit frustrated and understandably suspicious of Tiffany and her true intentions. But there was not enough solid proof there for Nia to really nail Tiffany for trying anything. Well, that was not the case on the December 27th edition of SmackDown. After Nia Jax and everyone else in the tag team match was laid out, Tiffany grabbed her contract and was steps away from handing it in to the referee, with Nia being the only one in the ring. Luckily for Nia, Candice saw what Tiffany was doing, stopped the cash-in, and it led to them losing the match. The plot hole is, why in the world is Nia Jax continuing to allow Tiffany Stratton to stay by her side? It's not like Liv Morgan or any other champion was in the ring, because then Tiffany can play it off and say that she was not going to cash in on Nia specifically. But Nia was the only champion in the ring, and Tiffany was legitimately going to cash in on Nia. So no doubt about it, you have Candice as the eyewitness to this. So realistically speaking, why does Nia Jax continue to keep Tiffany Stratton by her side after catching her completely red-handed once again with no excuses? That's a little issue here with this story, but hopefully that gets cleared up in the weeks to come, and Nia could explain that part of the story. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.